Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn how we can use a very important function of Microsoft Excel, that is a Vlookup function. So a Vlookup function, you need to use this function when you need to find things in the first column of in a table or range by row. So it means you can only refer to the values of the first column to find the corresponding value in that row. Now, what does it mean? Sometimes we get confused with its definition. Let's do it practically in the Excel so that you can understand it well. So here I have an array of data in which I have employee ID, first name, second name, designation, and yearly salary. Now, what I want, if I have a huge data and I want to find the first name, second name, designation, and yearly salary of a specific employee and I have only the ID right now and I don't have the time to find the corresponding information. For example, I would say I want the information of employee with the ID 23 and the information should be first name, second name, designation, and yearly salary. So what I will do I need to search the entire array of data for the required information? It will be a very tiresome and it will be a very hectic process. It will take too much time. For that purpose, VLOOKUP is there to save our time to give us the required information. How? Let's see. For example, if I have I have just written employee ID here, and this cell I will enter any of the employee ID that I want to find. For example, I say I want to find the information related to the employee ID 25. This means this information. So for that purpose, I need first name, second name, designation, and salary, and that information will be returned here. How? I have to apply the VLOOKUP function. So I'll start writing here as equals to VLOOKUP. Now, what are the arguments? Here we have the lookup value. Lookup value means the value that I am going to, against which I am going to find the required data. So this is the lookup value, because I said I have to find the first name, second name, designation, and yearly salary against the employee ID 25. So lookup value is the value against which you want to get the data. Then comma, table array. It means the whole table in which I am going to find the data. So I have to select the data like this. This is the small data, so I have selected it like this. But if you have a large data, you can just do it by writing the cell address of the first cell and the last cell separated by column. Then next is column index number. This value is that column of which data I want. For example, here I was searching for first name. So first name is in the second column, as first column is the employee ID and first name is the second column. So I will write 2 here. Then there are 2 options then, whether I want the exact match or not. So I want the exact match. It means I will go with false. So I will close it and I will press enter. So David. Now let's see, is it right? Yes. Employee ID is 25 and his first name is David. Now same is the case for the second name. Now second name should be Jarcia. For that again I will use the lookup function. So we have to use the VLOOKUP function here again to find the second name of the employee ID 25. So for that purpose we have to again use the function of VLOOKUP here. So what is the VLOOKUP? What is the lookup value? This employee ID. Then what is the table array? This entire table value is the table array. Then what is the column index number? It means the number of the column in which we are looking for the value. Since we are looking for second name here, so second name is in this column, that is H. So corresponding to employee ID, it's on third number. So I will write 3 and then I will select exact match, enter. So it's Jarcia. So it's right. David, Jarcia. Now we have to look for designation. So for designation is the 4th column. So again we will use the VLOOKUP function. So what is the lookup value? Again employee ID. What is the array? This is the entire array. And what is the column number? I already told you designation is in the 4th column corresponding to the employee ID. So it will be 4 and then the exact match. We will close it and enter. So is business assistant. We can verify it as David Garcia is a business assistant. Now we will look for his salary in the salary column, that is the 5th column. So again, Vlookup, and the lookup value is this employee ID, and the lookup array is this array, and the column number is 5th because yearly salary is to be found in 5th column, and the exact match. So the salary of David Garcia is $50,000. So this is how you can get the information of a specific employee or whatever the information you want. Now one important thing here is in Vlookup function, you can only get the value from the leftmost column to look for. Like you can only use, if you are considering employee ID to find the rest of the values, then this will be the first column. But if you use first name to find the corresponding information, then you cannot find the employee ID. It will be considered as you don't have any employee ID. You cannot find the employee ID by using the Vlookup function because the table will start from this column in that case. Similarly, if you want to find the value corresponding to second name, again the same thing is you cannot find the first name, you cannot find the employee ID, you can only find the values from the columns that are next to this column. Now what does it mean? I'll give you another example. For example, I have a first name and I want to find the corresponding information from this, that is the second name, designation and salary. Now keep this in mind, if you have the employee ID also in such a case, the Vlookup function will never give you the employee ID because Vlookup function will always consider the, for example, if I start finding from this column, like that, this first name, Vlookup function will not consider employee ID in any case. It will only consider that the table is made up of these 4 columns. So let's see how. First name, for example, I will write the first name is Taylor and I want to get the corresponding information to this name. How will I use the Vlookup function? It's very important. So if I write here Vlookup, so what is the Vlookup value? It's first name. Now what is the table array? Very important here. The table array will be then these 4 columns. We will not include employee ID. If we include employee ID in it, it will give you an error. Keep this in mind. Then what will be the column number? As we want to find the second name, so the column number will be 2 because here the first name is the first column and we are ignoring employee ID in such a case. So it means it will be second column, comma, exact match, enter. So Taylor's second name is Kane. So this is how you can get the exact values. Okay, then what is the designation? Again equals to Vlookup. What is the lookup value? Taylor, comma, what is the table array? This is the table array. We are ignoring employee ID because we are finding the value with corresponding to first name. So whatever the column is before first name, it will be ignored. Excel will not consider it. Comma, now it's designation. So designation is on third number with corresponding to first name. So it will be 3, comma, false and enter. So he is assistant manager. Similarly, for the salary equals to Vlookup, what is the value? Taylor is to be looked. Then in which table array? In this table array. Again ignoring employee ID. Common, comma, where is the year? Year is in the 4th column corresponding to first name. So I'll write 4, comma, false and enter. So this is how you can use the Vlookup function to find the data whatever you want. So keep this in mind. The value that you look for should be the leftmost column, and whatever the column is beside it, towards left, it will be ignored in Excel. So for example, I have the designation of assistant manager and I want to find its salary. In such a case, how I will apply the Vlookup function? Vlookup function, what is the lookup value? Assistant manager. what is the table array? The table array will start from designation then, and it will end at salary. I will not consider the rest of the columns, because the column the value that I am looking from, that is assistant manager, will be the first column now. Now what will be the column index? As we are going to find the salary, so it will be the second column with respect to designation, comma, the exact match, and enter 55,000. So this is how you can use the VLOOKUP function to find the values of the column, to find the corresponding values in a row with respect to the first column. So that's all from today's lecture. Thank you.